hope you had some time to go through and look at this section called Vocabulary List, and to read through and find the features of an effective explanation. So let's talk a little bit about this section for a minute. So we have the top paragraph, and then I'd like for you to look at the second paragraph on here, if you will. So this paragraph is the one that I was looking at when I was trying to find my features of an effective explanation. And so I found the topic, which is the introduction part, and it said ravens can copy sounds too. So that told me that this whole section was going to be about different sounds that ravens can make. And so I hope that you also noticed that as an introduction or a topic and put a little star there. Now the next part, remember, we look for in an effective explanation is that we find evidence or examples. And so as I'm reading on down, I'm looking at lines 31 to 35. So 31 is actually here, this line. So let me read it and see if it gives me some examples. One raven learned to imitate all the dogs in the neighborhood. They can also imitate other kinds of birds, the sound of falling water, human speech, motorcycles, and even the ringing of a bell on an ice cream truck. Copying sounds may not be a sign of smarts, but it sure makes ravens interesting to have around. So I heard in there some examples of the kinds of sounds they make. So I think for examples, according to our directions, I think we were supposed to circle them, I believe. So we are going to circle here, lines 31 starting here, all the way to the part of 35. Let me keep going a little bit more. So circle kind of doesn't look exactly like a circle, but that section gave us some examples, some evidence that these birds can make sounds like other birds, falling water, I guess like dripping, human speech, so they can make sounds that sound like people talking. That is so cool. They can sound like motorcycles and even a bell ringing on an ice cream truck. I mean, just crazy. Who knew that ravens could do all those really cool things? And then we're looking for the concluding statement, which is kind of the wrap-up part. So I see here they say, copying sounds may not be a sign of smarts, but it sure makes ravens interesting to have around. So they kind of wrap it up by saying, this is something else really cool that ravens do. They copy sounds. So I think we're supposed to underline the concluding statement. That's it. So this section had all three parts of an effective explanation. You may go on and look through the text to find other sections that may not have all three parts, and then that is where you could work on adding in a part. You may have to write in a sentence or two to help make it an effective explanation. So I hope you enjoyed doing that today. Read through the rest of the text and look for more examples of effective explanations so that tomorrow when we begin writing an effective explanation, you really have all of the parts that you need to make your writing effective and to explain well what it is that we're going to be writing about. Thank you so much.